everyone, I am back with part 2 of the 5x7 envelope mini album. In this part of the video, I'm going to show you how I score the envelopes and then cutting the mats and the paper for your pages along with your little insert pull-out mats. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've already done 6 of my envelopes because I really don't want these to be extremely lengthy videos, and this is pretty basic as far as the steps go. So I mentioned before in the supply video that I'm just using 8 envelopes for my mini album, so you'll just have to score as many envelopes as you're using. So I've done 6. I'm going to do these 2 with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see where I'm scoring. So this is just the small Martha Stewart scoreboard, and there are 1/8 of an inch spacings. Well, when you put your envelope or even your cardstock that you're using, if you're using the cardstock envelopes, this envelope is going to measure 5 1/4. You want to move that crease right here. You want to move it over 1/16 of an inch. So you want this fold to meet with this solid little piece here. And then you just want to score at the 5 3/8 mark. And that's going to give us a 1/16 of an inch score mark. So I'm going to do that one more time. So this is measuring 5 1/4, so you just want to move it over so it lines up with the little plastic guide right here, and then just score down on your 5 3/8 all the way down, and that gives us our 1/16 of an inch there. So that's how you do the envelopes. We're done scoring, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. I'm actually just using my Big Fiskars one because I don't want to have to worry about trying to pull out with the arm. So I'm going to set my envelopes aside, and we're going to, first thing we'll cut is our matted layers for our pages, and these measure 5 1/8 by 7 1/8, and I've already cut most of mine. I'm gonna cut 2 more, so I need 2 for each envelope. So I have cut 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Okay, it's not 2 for each envelope. I'm sorry. So before I screw you guys up on your counting, I'm using 8 envelopes, and I and you have to remember that one side of the first envelope will be attached to the cover. One side of the back envelope will be attached to the cover. So, with that said, you're going to count your pages, the inside pages. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then 14. So for me, using 8 envelopes, I'm needing 14 mats to cover my pages. So I have 12 here, and I'm just using craft cardstock. So I'm going to cut this one, I'm going to cut 2 pieces out of each 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. So this is going to measure 7 1/8. So we'll cut that first, and then we'll cut 2 at 5 1/8. So there's 1, and 2. So there we have all of our mats, and each page is going to have one pullout. So if you've got 14 mats that you're cutting, you're going to divide that in half. So I'm going to cut 7 pullout mats. These measure 5 1/8 by 7, and I only need to cut one more of these. So again, I'm using craft cardstock. So I'm going to cut this at 7. And this at 5 1/8. And that takes care of my pull-out mats here. And then paper, your pattern paper that you've chosen, you need 14 pieces. These are the patterns in my collection that I have done already. So I have 2 more sheets to cut, and these will be cut at 5 by 7. So here is my sheet. I'm going to cut this at 7, which is my length. And then I'm going to cut at 5 twice for 2 pieces. So there's 1 and 2. So now I'm going to show you exactly how I mat my pages, but I'm not going to do every single one of them because that would just take too long, and it's going to get kind of boring, you guys, watching me attach paper to the envelopes. So I'll do a few here with you. So the ones I need are, whoops, these. We don't need the pullouts, so we're going to set these aside. And we do need the mats. So what we'll do is I'm going to take, I like to do double page layouts inside my book, so both of my papers are the same on each side. And I kind of like to see where I sliced it. So I know this one is going to go on the left and this one's going to go on the right. So first thing I do is mat this. Oh, and I'm hoping that I don't run out of ATG tape in the middle of this. Okay, so we're just going to mat our cardstock here. Just like that. And we'll mat this side. And then I will show you how to attach these. It's pretty simple. You just have to remember the one on the left side. You have to keep room. You don't want to close up your little pocket there. So that's the one I'm going to show you how to do first. So this is our first envelope. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold back on this 1/8 inch or 1/16 of an inch score line here. Just like so. Kind of have to play with it a little bit since it is a very thin score line. Make sure that's even. Okay, and I don't really use my bone folder for this. I just kind of press it down with my finger because I think that's pretty good enough. So now you can see that we've got 1/8 of an inch for our spacing. And so this piece here is going to be attached to our cover. And actually this one we don't really need to fold back, so I'll do the next one. Scratch that. So sorry. what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to tuck it in. Because I forgot, we don't need to use the first envelope to attach to anything other than just the other side of it. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. So I hope that doesn't confuse you guys. Don't worry about the 1/8 of an inch score mark on the first one, or the 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so now we're going to take our mat and we're going to mat it right on top of the envelope like this. But remember, we want to leave a space here so our pocket can be formed and we can punch our little half circle out. So all I do is we are going to do the top, the right side, we're going to do the bottom, and then we're going to do, there's probably a good inch, a little over an inch, probably almost a little over 1 1/4 inches, probably 1 3/8. So you want to kind of just maybe use a mat or some kind of grid guide to kind of do your line, because you don't want this to be attached, otherwise it's going to close up our pocket here. So then you just want to kind of evenly space this out, and there we have our pocket. Okay, so that's our first page. Now the second page, this is where you're going to want to start folding back on your little 1/16 of an inch score mark, and just kind of pinching it. Because this is what's going to be attached to the next one. But in the other video I will show you all of the assembly. So it's going to be attached like that. So we want to make sure that our mat is stuck to this side. And with this one, we can do all 4 edges. So we're not having to worry about any pockets on this side. So we're just going to adhere this one completely down. Like that. So then you basically have your double page layout there. So we'll go ahead and flip that one over. I didn't tuck it in. And we'll do one more. So a good thing to do is to go ahead and just mat all of your papers first. That's what I like to do, just get all my matting done, and then I go back and attach them to the pages. And whoops, nope, I did not mess up. Was thinking about that pocket there. So we'll just get this attached. And then we'll get this one attached. That's why I like to go ahead and do all of these first, so I don't get confused about trying to remember to save space for that pocket. You kind of get in the mode of just attaching things. So there's our pages. So again, we have a pocket on this side, so we're going to flip this over. Go ahead and do the top, the right side, the bottom. I'm going to use my grid here, and I'm going about 1.5 over, about 1.5 inches over, so I make sure that I don't cover up that pocket. sure I get my spacing kind of even. Need to push that up a little bit. Okay. So there we have another pocket. So there's that page, and we have that page. And then this one will be attached this way, so we're going to do this side. So when you're attaching your pages, you just have to pay attention to which side is your pocket and which side is going to be your solid. So you really don't want to close up that pocket. So here's our little 1/16 of an inch. Just going to kind of pinch that along there. And that would be attached to that one. So I'm just going to slip it inside here, and I'm going to slip this one inside here, but I will show you how we're actually going to adhere those. So here's the first, here's the second, and you'll just keep going like that. And then in the next part of the video, I will show you guys how we're going to go ahead and attach all of our pages and then attach it to our, well, we'll do our cutouts first. So let's go ahead and do those here. So before you attach all of your pages together, it's actually easier to do the little holes for your pockets. And I'm just going to use my 1-inch EK Success circle punch. And I'm going to punch a half circle. So this is why I like to punch this part without attaching it, so I have more room to get my punch in there. So I'm basically going to just eyeball this. I'm going to eyeball my distance from here to here, and you can totally measure this if you want to. And I'm only doing a 1/2 inch. So I'm not going to do the full circle. And there we go. That gives me a little thumb space for my pull-out tab that's going to go inside there. So this page will be attached like this. And then we need to do this one. So here's my other pocket. I'm going to go ahead and try to center this one and just punch my 1/2 circle. Just like so. You can use a bigger circle punch if you want. You can use a smaller circle punch if you want. It's all personal preference. I'm using just the 1 inch. So once this one is matted, we'll punch that one also. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my matting, let you guys do the rest of your matting, and then I will see you back here for part 3 of the assembly. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.